Yeah, Whiplash, what are you doing here?
Hello, Skeletor. I just wanted to tell you that we've got some new recording equipment, so the picture and sound quality should be improved from now on.
So, nobody gives a monkey's, Whiplash. The viewing figures are plummeting. Get out of my sight before I beat you.
Yes, Skeletor.
Right. Hello, everybody. Let's get on with the show. Greetings! I am Skeletor, and welcome back to SkeleTalk, the series where I answer your questions. It's the internet's best kept secret. Right. The retro man Randy Savage lowers the tone immediately by asking, He-Man or She-Ra, who would you rather get pegged by? I suppose I would have to choose She-Ra, because I don't believe He-Man owns a strap-on. What a horrible thing to consider. Thanks, Randy, I suppose. Retro Toy Guy Sai asks, if you were to create a supergroup from dead musicians, which 4 deceased artists would you choose, and which Ghostbuster would you assign to catch which artist? Well, I think I would instruct Peter and Winston to work together in catching Glenn Miller and Kurt Cobain, and I would assign Ray and Egon to capture Michael Jackson and Gene Krupa. The band would be called The Resurrected. Thanks for the question, Sai. Soda Cauldron has a question and a telephone request. Firstly, Duck Dodgers or Buck Rogers? Oh, Duck Dodgers every time, no contest. Okay, Soda has a question for Hong Kong Phooey. I'll just grab my phone. Right, okay, here we go. Right, it's ringing.
Hello?
Hello, Hong Kong Phooey, it's Skeletor. I've been instructed to ask you, are you really Sarge, Rosemary the telephone operator, or Penry the mild-mannered janitor?
I'm afraid I cannot reveal my civilian identity.
Well, I think you're Penry the janitor. My suspicion is based on your appearance. To be more specific, your ears are quite recognizable.
I'm not a janitor.
Oh yeah? Tell that to the IRS. Goodbye, dog. Right. Thanks, Soda. I'm sorry I couldn't elicit an admission from that sneaky hound. Jason Raphael Murdoch has 2 questions. Number 1, Red Sonja, Wonder Woman, or She-Hulk? Which female warrior would you rather have replace Teela as your adversary? Well, I think Red Sonja and Wonder Woman would both fit in well on Eternia, but I can't really decide which would present the greatest challenge, so I shall pretend I've misunderstood the question and choose Betty White from the Golden Girls. And question 2, reptilians, Sasquatch, or the Greys? Which mythical species do you think most likely has a base on Eternia? Oh, the reptilians certainly have a secret base on Eternia. I've been there several times, but I'm sworn to secrecy as to its whereabouts. I generally visit the site once or twice a month for movie and game night. Thanks, Jason. Steve Jones writes, now that I possess the lavender crystals, may I inquire about purchasing a copy of your book on basic alchemy? Well, Steve, there is no need to purchase the introductory volume. I shall be happy to send this to you free of charge. The second book, Intermediate Alchemy, will cost $85, and the final volume, Advanced Alchemy, will require the unconditional surrender of your eternal soul. Steve also wants to know if Whiplash has informed me that now is the opportune moment to procure the unique ingredients I requested. Yes, Whiplash has alerted me, and I have placed my order. I ask for your discretion in this matter. Thanks, Steve. Fully qualified ninny Gerard Connor has taken time out of his silly day to get in touch, and he writes, is it fair to assume that your new cape will be pink to complement your pink apron? And if you were to relinquish your rule in favour of one of your minions, which would you choose? Well, I am confused by your reference to a pink apron. I do not own an apron, and it certainly isn't pink. My new cape will be a terrifying colour and will strike fear into the hearts of mortal men. And as for relinquishing my rule, you have taken leave of your already questionable senses. I would never do this. My domination is eternal. Thanks for getting in touch, Gerard. I know you're very busy being a ninny. Andrew.
Skeletor!
What, Whiplash?
You've got stuck on Andrew's name.
No, I haven't. Have I?
Yes, Skeletor. Would you like me to read you the question, Skeletor?
Yes.
Okay. Andrew wants to know how it works being a professional ninny.
Oh, you mean like Gerard O'Connor?
Yes, Skeletor. Andrew wants to know the pay and benefits that come with the role.
Well, Andrew, the title of professional ninny is more of a status than a job. It is not a paid role. Instead, it is awarded to those who have consistently proven themselves to be a reliable pranny. As for the benefits of the position, I'm afraid you'll have to ask Gerard O'Connor in the comments section, and perhaps he will provide details or tips on how to achieve his level of expertise. I know he doesn't have anything better to do. Thanks for the question, Andrew. Whiplash, get out of my sight before I beat you.
Yes, Skeletor.
Mimi Rogers asks, what is your favourite movie? Probably The Lost Boys. Thanks, Mimi. Dan Chicone asks, if you popped your arms off and replaced them with Beastman's, would they be hard to control? Well, sorry, Dan, I don't think our moulds are compatible, so I can't really test this out. I do think I would enjoy having hairy orange arms, and I suspect I would be very good at swinging through the trees like an aggressive gibbon. Thanks for the question. Mike Chicone has 2 questions. Number 1, how do you feel about the Fallout show's ghoul becoming a sex symbol after ripping off your nose-free look? I am not concerned with other people's noses, or lack thereof. However, my lawyer has suggested that I may have grounds for a dispute over image rights. And question 2, what is the term for the slightest portion of a shit? Is there a scale of shit terminology? No, Mike, there is no scale. Any single shit is referred to as a piece of shit, regardless of size. This applies to solid shits. Muddy or liquid shit is referred to as some shit, regardless of quantity. The pronouns for poop are it and that. Thank you for the questions, Mike. Stephen Gray has 2 questions. Number 1, if there is one, could you tell us anything about the patron saint of Eternia? No, I'm afraid we don't have any patron saints on Eternia, as nobody of sufficient importance or significance has died. And question 2, sometimes there are weird things lying in pasture fields, such as bathtubs. What is the strangest thing you have ever seen put out to pasture? Well, I haven't really seen anything strange in a pasture field, but one time in New Zealand, I was walking through a field in the middle of nowhere and I came across a USB memory stick laying in the grass. I took it with me and later found out that all it contained was the song Moves Like Jagger by Maroon 5. Thanks for the question, Stephen. New contributor The Fly Attractor asks, who do you think would intimidate the other more, Beastman with hot melted butter or Clawful with HP sauce? Well, they would cancel each other out, because although Beastman is the more intimidating minion, HP sauce cannot be reckoned with. Thank you for the excellent question, and welcome to the channel. Alex James has 2 questions. Number 1, if there was a biopic made of you and your minions, who would you like to see playing you, Beastman, Whiplash, and Evil Lynn? Well, I'd like to see Jennifer Connelly playing Evil Lynn, Ron Perlman as Beastman, and Mark Wahlberg playing Whiplash. As for my role, I really have no idea. Perhaps viewers could give me some suggestions in the comments section. Who could portray the evil Lord of Destruction? Let me know. And question 2, is it true that Patrick Swayze graduated with you from Hordak Memorial High School? Yes! He went on to study dance, and I went on to study leaping about the place like a boss. And we were both extremely Which of He-Man's friends has the stupidest name, and why is it Fisto? Well, you have correctly identified this as being one of the more absurd names. Unfortunately, as this show is released on a Sunday, I do not feel it is appropriate for me to mention gaping anuses. Thanks, Weapon Zero. Finally, Kat asks the following questions. Number 1, do you think Hellboy should have kept his horns long? Oh, yes, definitely. He looked great with long horns, although the king of all horny bastards is Darkness from the movie Legend. If that answer wasn't interesting enough, have no fear, because Kat wants me to call Hellboy to ask if he misses his horns. Just a second. Right. Okay. Here we go. It's ringing.
Hello?
Hello, Hellboy. It's Skeletor. Just a quick question. Do you miss your horns?
Not really, no. They just got in the way. Also, I like to have the option of wearing a hat.
Oh, well, I'm glad I took the time to call you. Have a terrible day. Goodbye. Right. That's the end of the episode. Thanks for joining me. If you enjoyed the show, please give it a thumbs up. But don't even think about sharing the channel with anybody else. The exclusivity must be preserved. However, if you are watching and have not yet subscribed, do so immediately. And don't forget to leave me a comment or a question for next time. Right, I'm off to pour pineapple juice into Monkey Boy's milk. See you next time. Bye. Get out of my sight before I beat you.